I'm in Walmart right now in the games section, and I came to buy Super Mario Galaxy for my nieces. They released it on Nintendo Switch. I remember playing it on Nintendo Wii when I was a kid, and I wanted them to be able to experience it as well. Look at this. Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, $100, dude. I literally asked the girl working in that section to check the price for me because there's no way it could be that much for two games that came out more than 15 years ago. Super Mario Galaxy came out in 2007. And the second one came out in 2010. Genuinely, how do you justify charging $100, $50 per game for two games that came out more than 15 years ago? I've never seen anything like that. It might be the most like anti-consumer thing I've ever seen, which is saying a lot because most of my content is about multi-level marketing scams, which are like the most anti-consumer thing ever. I'm not even mad at Nintendo for like taking a property that people like and trying to make money off of it on a new console, because I'm sure there are costs associated with like porting it over and printing out new copies and whatever, but like the game is already done, right? So how do you get to this price of $100? I ended up not buying the game on principle, not even because of the money. If I had $1 million in my bank account, I don't think I'd be able to justify spending $100 for two games that came out more than 15 years ago.
There's the asshole! Right there in the ring! Right there, there's the asshole!
Frittata! You don't even blame Nintendo, huh? $100! $100! My God, and I thought we had it bad in America, but in Canada, Nintendo fan will literally cost you about a mortgage if you live in Canada. I don't even know how anybody justifies these prices themselves. You really, really, really have to love these products in order to be willing to spend that kind of money. And luckily, for me, I have no love for Nintendo. Like, my eyes are able to see the truth. Their games are just okay. I mean, like, Nintendo games at one point were these crowning achievements. They get credit for the past, but in the present, it's really hard to be impressed by anything I'm seeing.
Why would you say something so controversial yet so brave?
I think anybody who's bought this system day one fed into the problem. And that's probably why people get mad at me in my personal life when I mention it. But much like the man who walked into that Walmart and saw that price, I also had a similar experience today. Before I get into it, just a quick reminder, hit subscribe. We hit 118,000 subs just a day ago. You guys have done it. At 120,000, I'll play some stuff for you on camera. Anyway, I went for a little Christmas shopping today. And right next to the Marshalls and TJ Maxx, there's a GameStop. And I thought, hell, I'll walk in there. I'll get my nephew a Five Nights at Freddy's plushie or something. And upon entering, I could hear a couple right next to the Switch 2 section talking about the price of the games and shitting on them. And I said, oh, shitting on Nintendo publicly? I want some of that. And I walked over there to join the conversation. And then I noticed something, and you'll notice it too. I don't know how we forgot about this. There is more than one $80 game for the Switch 2. Mario Kart World is not the only game you should be worried about. $80 will be the new standard, whether you want to or not. Check this out.
Yeah, see, it's pushing the limits.
See, because this right here, I was told this would be 80.
Yeah.
But what? Why the fuck is this 80?
Yeah, and then there's...
That's pre-owned, so that makes sense why it's on sale, but I don't get when this became an $80 game. When did that happen? When did that happen? When did that happen? And when did that happen? Like, I don't even remember because I remember this during all the controversy, but
yeah.
Hey, this game right here that's almost 10 years old, $80 now.
Yeah.
Indeed. I don't know, maybe it's all the joints I've been smoking lately, and perhaps it's affected my memory too much, but I legitimately could not remember that any of these games were $80. This is absolute insanity. This is why the PS5 destroyed the Switch 2 on Black Friday and the Xbox. It's almost like Sony, as much as, you know, their games are pretty repetitive and movie-like, at the very least, they understood the importance of having a sale during the most important time of the year. I mean, just look at this. I could not believe what I was seeing at GameStop. $80 for Kirby Forgotten Land? $80 for Mario Jamboree? $80 for Tears of the Kingdom? I understand that these are Switch 2 versions, and people are saying, well, it's bundled with the DLC for it. It was always 80 bucks. You just didn't know. I think a lot of people still don't know, because when I showed this to everyone, they were shocked. They truly thought Mario Kart World was the only $80 game, but no. And so out of sheer curiosity, I went over to Nintendo's website and have a look for yourself. Look at this. There it is. Mario Party Jamboree. $80 for the Switch 2 version. Now, granted, they throw in some extra content for you, but like, this is a game that should be $60. Hell, it should be $50 by now. And the upgrade pack with the DLC should be $10, making it a $60 game. But instead, it's marked up a full $20 from its Switch 1 counterpart. They throw DLC in there to try and entice you and make you think you're getting your money's worth. Bull fucking shit. $80 for Mario Jamboree. What makes this worse is this is the only version they'll sell you for the Switch 2, so you have no choice. You have to have the $80 version, unless you want to buy the Switch 1 version and then pay for the upgrade pack. But if you want it all in one box, it's $80. You're thinking, well, is that physical for it? No, that's digital. You go over physical, it's the same price. Digital and physical are both $80 for this crap. I thought to myself, did Nintendo have a stealth price hike? How did we forget? And I don't think it's so much that we forgot, it's just we didn't notice. Motherfuckers want to charge you 80 bucks, whether it's physical or not, and you have no choice. You have to get the Switch 2 version bundled with the DLC even if you don't want it. You have to, by default, buy the most expensive version. That's the only one Nintendo's providing you. And then we want to go to Kirby and the Forgotten Land Switch 2 version. Yeah, it comes with Star-Crossed World. You're thinking to yourself, okay, maybe that's why it's 80 bucks. Can you sell me a version without that? Well, then that's requiring the Switch 1 version. But if you get that, you have none of the upgrades. And then the upgrade pack itself, of course, if Nintendo's slow-ass website could hurry up, there we go. 20 bucks for the upgrade pack. So that makes Kirby. This game, by the way, when did this come out? This is a game that came out in 2022. So why in the hell should it cost 80 bucks to get the grand privilege of playing it at a slightly better fidelity for the Switch 2? Who are the people that buy these products? Like, why? Why do you feed into this? What is the incentive? And mind you, that's digital as well. Digital is 80. Fucking suck a dick, Nintendo. Kindly fuck off. You want to charge the same price? You're insane. This is insanity. What world is Kirby an $80 game? Well, thank you, Nintendo, for throwing in the DLC. Thanks for not just selling a standalone Switch 2 version with its upgrades. No, you have to create artificial incentive. And then, of course, there's the Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 version. This one people have known would be 80 bucks if you want the Switch 2 version. But here's the whole point I'm trying to bring up to you. It was Black Friday, and during Black Friday, it appears games did not even get a markdown in price. It actually looks like some things might have been marked up, other than the temporary console sale retailers provided, because my best guess is that the PS5's dominance during Black Friday got a lot of retailers to shit their pants, so they had to put the Switch 2 on discount. And even though they provided a discount, it still lost to the PS5, which is 5 years old. And this is why. Look at the culprit. $80 games are clearly affecting consumer purchasing decisions. Because you go and you buy yourself a Switch 2. Awesome, great. Now I want to play Tears of the Kingdom on it. 80 bucks? Mario Jamboree, 80 bucks? Kirby, 80 bucks? If we go over to the Reddit right here, the PS5 accounted for 47% of total Black Friday week hardware unit sales. They beat the brand new console on the market that also got a discount, but again, keep in mind, that was not a discount from Nintendo. That was a discount from retailers. The games are just simply overpriced. Who wants to buy hardware with overpriced software? It's counterintuitive. It would make future purchases of video games way more expensive than they need to be. Instead of Tears of the Kingdom going down to $50 for Switch 2 users, instead of, Kirby going down to being a $30 game, instead of Mario Jamboree being a $30 game, all that shit went up to $80 for Switch 2 users. Sony did the wise thing here. I love to hate Sony as much as everybody else, but let's be real. The reason people chose the PS5 during Black Friday was because of the sale. You have to have competitive pricing. Nintendo doesn't care about competing in that sense. Retailers had to compete amongst each other, which is why they even dropped the price. And chances are that they're having trouble getting the Switch 2s out of their inventory because those PS5s flew off shelves because let's face it, everybody wants to buy a PS5 during the holidays to prepare for GTA 6. The Switch 2 is not going to have GTA 6 at launch. Sony is making all the right moves and they're being pro-consumer at it, which like, wow, you never thought you would see that. And those Black Friday sales included the PS5 digital, the 825 gig model, with Fortnite Flower and Chaos bundle, and it was available for $400, including the PS5 1TB console. And Xbox didn't even bother to do anything for its consumers, so they can suck a dick. They deserve to go out of business. This is the most important time of the year. This is where it means the most to your consumers. It shows whether or not you want to get more people, whether or not you want to compete, or if you can afford to do it. I mean, it's more than just that. Look at that, $100 off of PSVR 2, $20 off of PlayStation Portal, $20 off of the Pulse Elite, $30 off of the wireless earbuds, $30 off of DualSense, and then 33% off on membership offers. You could save over 60%. Nintendo didn't do a single one of these things for its store. Instead, you get to pay $80 for Switch 1 games that are marked off as Switch 2 games when they really aren't. There was one deal offered to consumers, and that is you can save $50 on Mario Kart World bundle. The Nintendo Switch 2 plus Mario Kart World remains in stock for $450 at Amazon and Walmart on December 7th. Keep in mind, not on Nintendo's website, so retailers are the ones coming through for you and not Nintendo. Best Buy's deal has ended as of 10 p.m. and Target has been sold out for a few days. The $50 discount was initially offered by Walmart on Cyber Monday and was quickly matched by Amazon. I mean, at the very least, that's good to see. Retailers competing means you win. Like when two retailers and two companies go head to head for your dollar, that benefits you. So you never really want one specific company to be on top. You want both to struggle to match your demand. Unfortunately, fanboys don't get that. Fanboys want one company to be on top and have all the success and dominate. They don't want competition. That's why fanboys are bad for gaming. They'll quickly buy up anything and everything without hesitation and never even bother to wait for deals or specials, and buying everything marked up at full price is the problem. But the Switch 2 plus Mario Kart World bundle, that's like the only deal you can get. It's $50 off, and this is the only chance you'll ever save any money on Mario Kart World, because I'm willing to bet this game will stay $80 for the next 10 years on its own. But keep in mind, this is Nintendo's killer app, and it's still lost to the PS5 that was just bundled with Fortnite. Call me crazy, but maybe $80 games are not helping you, Nintendo, because what are you going to do if demand slows down? Which I think Nintendo does not fear. They don't think demand will slow down for them. And so they have no incentive to do anything different. But retailers are showing concerns. Retailers are trying to get this shit sold as soon as possible. And it's not often that you will see retailers want to actually mark a brand new console at that price. That's usually what the console manufacturers have to do, and they have to take that loss. Retailers may legit be taking a loss on the Switch 2, because the Mario Kart World console bundle is valued at $530. So you're essentially getting a copy of the Switch 2 exclusive for free. The bundle includes a voucher that can be redeemed. Yeah, anyway, it's a voucher. You don't even get a physical copy of the game, which is the whole point of the Switch console anyway, right? Now you gotta keep in mind the UK is not Nintendo's biggest market. So some could say, hey, maybe Sony's the one getting desperate. But with like extravagant sales like that and success like that on Black Friday, I don't think they're desperate. I think they're being smart, and you have to give them credit there, because the competition, Xbox and Nintendo, they're both overpricing their consumers. They are absolutely ripping them off. I mean, I just can't believe I can walk into a GameStop and I can see that the price for Kirby is $80. This is ridiculous. Tears of the Kingdom is probably like the only game here that you could argue is worth its price tag. I mean, I don't think it is. You could try to argue it though, but what are the real arguments? Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom was $60 when it first came out. And now it's like 80 bucks if you want to play it on the Switch too, but the game is literally one of the greatest games ever made. It's very highly critically acclaimed. You know what else is highly critically acclaimed? Actually, the most highly critically acclaimed game with the most amount of awards? Elden Ring. And that game has gone on sale multiple times. It's not like Elden Ring just magically shot up to being $80 one day. But you know what did? Zelda, Mario Jamboree, Kirby. And what do they all have in common? They're Nintendo first-party IPs. $80 will be the standard. My best guess is this didn't happen for Donkey Kong because that was a prize. That was a part of Doug Bowser's quote-unquote variable pricing, but none of it makes sense. Like, you're forced to buy DLC packs you don't want. Or you're either forced to keep your Switch 1 version of your game, making Switch 2 versions the most pointless pieces of plastic to exist. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! Enjoy your slop, Nintendo guys. I hope you love paying 80 bucks for games that are almost 10 years old. Enjoy! And if you enjoyed this video, then like, comment, share, and subscribe if you so choose to. With that being said, see you in the next one.
Free Congo sucks ass.